I should do this in. Hi, my name is Angela Fagg with Messengers of Truth. This light's a little bright. Am I doing the right one? Anyways, oh, forgot to put my banners up. I was trying to get the skies were pretty pink there for a minute, and I figured, why wouldn't I share that with you, right? So anyways, my name is Angela Fagg with Messengers of Truth. Today is June 21st, 2026 at sometime after 8 p.m. I don't know, like 8:20, something like that. Something like that. Anyways, I wanted to show you the sky a little bit, but then I wanted to read a couple things. Today is Father's Day, and you would think that I would tell you Happy Father's Day, so I'll say it like this. Happy Father's Day to those that were fathers. And I want to say Happy Father's Day out to all the single mothers out there that had to act like fathers. Because my mother was my mother and my father. I didn't meet my father until I was either 18 or 19 years old. That's here nor there. I'm just saying those are my feelings about it. And if you're a good dad, hey, good for you, dude. Not being an asshole, I'm just being serious, okay? But there's a lot of single parents out there. I was counting up the other day, kids I grew up with in the neighborhood, and I was like, at first, I was like, well, I don't know if there was that many single parents where I grew up at. And then I started counting, and there was like 10 of us. 10 of us that have, that were single parents. Men and women. I'm going on the porch right now if you wonder what I'm doing, and Jimmy's going to help me lower the thing down. See, that's my birthmark. That's not rosacea, and it's definitely not from alcoholism. Anyways, I say that because I've had people say that to me before. Okay, Jimmy's. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you just got to drop it for me. It's hard for me to drop it without getting my mirrors and stuff. Hold on a second. Right there's good enough. I can. Okay. Thank you for being patient with me. Anyways, so will you do me a favor, please? Shut this curtain right here and bring me my outdoor ashtray. Jimmy's dad was over yesterday, and I made some bomb-ass ribs. I'll tell you this right now. Old man likes my ribs to begin with because I make pretty good ribs, okay? They always fall off the bone. But I don't just like to do things in one flavor tone, you know what I'm saying? I like to change it up, and I found a new good flavor together, which is Dale's seasoning. It's for people from down in the South that know what Dale's is. It's tasty. Anyways, I mixed that with some honey, raw, unrefined honey, and it is pretty delicious. But I smoke the ribs first. I'm turning the light down some so it's not so bright. Whew. But the mixture of the Dale seasoning and the honey, because you put it on at the very end. I like to put a coating on my ribs at the very end. I season them beforehand, but who doesn't? And I like them to fall apart, like off the bone. Because my theory is why should you have to chew your meat that hard? Everybody wants stuff that just falls apart in their mouth, right? Anyways, that's what I thought. So he came over yesterday, and that was nice. I don't even know why I told you that, but I did. So war's been on, war's been off. I didn't make any videos this week because I was highly pissed off. And I told myself that I wouldn't make any. And some people are going to say, well, you can't always go by your feelings and this and that. Well, let me give you a little something. Maybe if some of the boomers you know, we're actually going by some of their feelings when all this shit was fucking off in the 70s before I was born, or the 60s before I was born, maybe we'd be somewhere else, right? Because we're all always pointing the fingers at each and every person, right? Well, everybody processes things differently, and that is a fact. And people that haven't ever lived on the streets or even been the type of person to hang out on the streets don't generally know what those type of people are like or how they process things, because those people actually question more than your normal person that never did nothing wrong, never hung out late at night, never went to any house parties, never went to, you know, I don't even know what to call them. People that don't like to have fun. Anyways, process things differently than other people. And we have to stop telling everybody how you should process or how you should be about it, because we just, you know, you can't just say, oh, well, Jesus healed me and then I was just automatically better. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work for a drug addict, okay? Or somebody recovering, or somebody who's done drugs. Things don't work that way for them. They are constantly thinking about things, thinking about how this went wrong. Why was this conversation this way? How could I have done it differently? Even though the conversation is already over and done with, and there's nothing that you can do to change said conversation. But that's how people work. And when you have, you know, we look to people that are preachers or rabbis or this or that they're going to be more spiritually inclined, or more, they're smarter than us. They're smarter than me because they lived their life and they were always in the Bible, and they went to Bible school and they did this and that, and they just know more things spiritually than I do. Well, I'm going to call bullshit on that. I'm going to call big bullshit. Real big bullshit. Because you got to live life, and in order to help people, the actual people that are really going to need the help, the actual really damaged people, you're going to have to understand what that's like. You can't just tell them not to process. Or we're just going to snap our fingers and everything's just going to magically disappear. Well, tried that a couple times. Hold on. Still not working. I guess my snappers are broke. My snappers are broke. So, the football league, not football, football's not even on yet. I'm not into sports because, you know, one, I'm a girl. Two, I've never been into sports. And I only watch sports, football and stuff, because other people were watching it. And I'd always pick the team that was everybody was going against. Because that's how I roll. I don't like to follow the crowd. So, anyways, on the baseball team, a couple of baseball players, on their hats and or shirts or jerseys, somewhere on there, they wrote Genesis 9:16 through, hold on, 16 through 18, right? Well, so I went to, because I didn't know what it said. You know what I'm saying? And then probably half the other Christians out there don't have a damn clue what it says either. They just know, oh, well, it's probably something about the rainbow. Nobody decided to, you know, pick up their Bible. I'm sure a lot of people decided to pick up their Bible and look, but I actually read the whole thing, all of 9. It's the covenant with Noah. So then, you know, because I hear people saying this all the time. Take my light off. You guys should get one of these. These are the best reading lights. Look, it bends all over the place, and it makes it multiple colors. You don't know if you'll be able to see it properly. See? Gets brighter. Then you can, it's different colors. That's orange. See? It's pretty great, and it lasts a long time. Anyways, we'll go back off of that. So I noticed that all these Christian leaders, it doesn't matter who they are, okay? People really got to stop taking famous people's names and trying to mix it up with shit. It don't matter. I'm just going to lump you guys all up in one group. So here it says the covenant with Noah. So my question is, how many covenants did God make? How many covenants did he make? No, it's an ongoing covenant. Jesus came here to die for our sins, okay? He came as the law, not to change the law. Who brought the law? Moses, right? The 10 Commandments. All right? And then what did they follow before that? It was the laws that were set by Noah, right? I'm guessing on that part. But anyways, this is the covenant of Noah, okay? And that's where they got their little thing on their Bible. I mean, on their shirt, you know, going against the gays. You know, since I guess the gays are in the Bible too, like they were best friends with Jesus or some shit. That's bullshit. Well, he said that he really loved one of his disciples. You know that some of his disciples were women too? Yeah, but I don't see no book here, book of Mary, book of Martha. I don't see I don't see none of those books. So what it says in here is, I'm trying to debate right now if I'm going to read the whole thing, because there's 2 parts in here that are actually pretty good. And, yep, we'll just go for it. Whoever sheds the blood of a human, by a human shall that person's blood be shed. For in his own image God made humankind. So, it says right here, because, you know, the whole Bible. Hold on, let me show you the whole thing. The whole thing. It's the whole thing. The front, the back, Old Testament, New Testament. You know there's going to be another, because, you know, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That means there's a third part. There's a third part that hasn't been written yet. Anyways. So whoever sheds the blood of a human by a human, that person's blood shall be shed. Does that also go with an eye for an eye? Right? In Moses? I think it might be a carrying on theme. And I know that everybody likes to say, well, Jesus said, turn your other cheek. Jesus didn't come to change the law. Jesus is saying, you know, try to have a little bit more patience with people. But he didn't come to change the law. He came as the law. Okay? So stop trying to change shit. And what I'm getting at is that you can't expect a group of people to keep getting pushed down and you murdering all their people and them not to murder you back. How can you expect that? How can you expect everybody to just be like, hey, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you just want to come take our homes. You want to come take our food. You want to vax us up with all kinds of shit. You want to spray the air every fucking day. Every day it's getting sprayed. You think Florida, you thought it stopped in Florida, right? Why is it that it hasn't rained at my house in, I don't know, at least a week? Oh, I live in the tropics. It should be raining almost every single day. I know, they changed that a while ago because, you know, they're gods. They get to change the weather, even though you tell people that, and they're like, oh, that's not happening. Okay. What happened in Vietnam? They didn't make it rain there. They didn't make it rain in Vietnam. You know, to flush out all the tunnels and stuff. That didn't happen. Maybe some people also should start talking to some of those warriors, some of the Navy SEALs and the other people that actually were there, and ask them if that was happening. And they might not tell you. Especially, you know, some of the ones that don't want to talk and that are hiding from the government. Anyways, but we don't think that that happens, right? We don't think that there's people hiding from them right now. Anyways, so get back to it. And I'll stop being an asshole because I'm not. So Genesis 9:16 through 18 says this: when the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. All flesh. So the rainbow is to remind God to not flood us out again. So these fags, you know, sodomites. Oh, we can call them queers now. Did you know? That's just for the younger folks. We weren't allowed to call them queers back in the 90s. That's so mean, you called him a queer. I'm like, well, you want me to call him a fag? You see, last name, fag. Anyways. Look on the for real. Sorry for this to hurt your feelings, but I don't give a shit anymore because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about children being raped by gay couples. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Happening all over America. Foster parents. I'm sick of the foster bullshit and DCF and CPS and whatever the fuck you want to call these cunts. It's all the time. Everybody thinks that it's just a little bit. What happened to all the pregnant women? Huh? All the pregnant women that came across the borders in the 4 years of millions of military-aged men of every single continent on the planet was coming in our south border. Everywhere. And it was mostly men, besides the drugged up children they were carrying, or a few women, or they would make them look like they were families. And you can clearly tell a family unit from a fake family unit. And how off and on, there's no cigarettes in there. This whole last week, we're in the war, we're not in the war, Israel's doing whatever the fuck it wants. Sorry, I wasn't going to do, I thought I was maybe not so mad today. But obviously I'm still a little perturbed. I'm still a little irritated by it. So, you know that today is summer solstice. I didn't know that until earlier because I don't pay attention to that shit. There's lots of mosquitoes out here and I wanted to read something. It's the Psalms. And it's not a one. I do the wrong one. All right, well, it's been 3 or 4 days now, and I'm supposed to read this Psalms, and it's in, it can't be a short one now, can it? Probably got some words I can't pronounce, but whatever. Psalm 35. Prayer for deliverance from our enemies. I'm doing this all for all of America, especially Florida. Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and rise up to help me. Draw the spear and javelin against my pursuers. Say against my pursuers. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Let them be put to shame and dishonor who seek after my life. Let them be turned back and confounded who devise evil against me. Let them be like chaff before the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them on. Let their way be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. For without cause they hid their net for me. Without cause they dug a pit for my life. Let ruin come on them unawares, and let the net that they hid ensnare them. Let them fall in it to their ruin. Then my soul shall rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall rejoice in God, exulting in his deliverance. All my bones shall say, O God, who is like you? You deliver the weak from those too strong for them, the weak and the needy for those who despoiled them. Sorry, I have to bring it a little closer. Malice witnesses rise up. They ask me about things I do not know. They repay me evil for good. My soul is forlorn. But as for me, when they were sick, I wore sackcloth. I afflicted myself with fasting. I prayed with head bowed on my bosom, as though I grieved for a friend or a brother. I went about as one who lamentates for a mother, bowed down and in mourning. But at my stumbling, they gathered in glee. They gathered together against me, ruffians who I do not know, tore at me without ceasing. They impiously mocked more and more, gnashing at me with their teeth. How long, O God, will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages, my life from the lions. Then I will thank you in the great congregation, in the mighty throng I will praise you. Do not let my treacherous enemies rejoice over me, or those who hate me without cause wink an eye. For they do not speak peace, but they conceive deceitful words against those who are quiet in the land. They open wide their mouths against me, and they say, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. You have seen, O God, do not be silent. O God, do not be far from me. Wake up, bestir yourself for my defense. For my cause, my God, vindicate me, O God, according to your righteousness, and do not let them rejoice over me. Do not let them say to themselves, Ha ha, we've had our heart's desire. Do not let them say, we have swallowed you up. Let all those who rejoice at my calamity be put to shame and confusion. Let those who exalt themselves against me be clothed with shame and dishonor. Let those who desire my vindication shout for joy and be glad, and say evermore, Great is the Lord who delights in the welfare of his servant. Then my tongue shall tell of your righteousness and of your praise all day long. There's one more. I'm really hoping it's short. Oh, it is short. So the other one was Psalms 25. Bildad speaks, how can a mortal be righteous before God? I can't say that other guy's names. Dominion and fear are with God. He makes peace in his high heavens. Is there any number to his army? Upon whom does his light not arise? How then can a mortal be righteous before God? How can one born of a woman be pure? If even the moon is not bright and the stars are not pure in his sight, how much less a mortal who is a maggot and a human being who is a worm? Well, I don't think David knew then that he's going to live forever after he left this body. I did what I was supposed to do. And now I'm going to say some things. Don't know exactly what yet. But what I will tell you, things are changing. Things are forming. People are around. And I think I'll just leave it there. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. It's hot out here. I don't want to be out here much longer, but I did want to come because I didn't come last week because I was pretty irritated. It was just one thing after another. I'll tell you the first thing that started off last week, and it wasn't a Monday, it was a Friday. So, you know, sometimes when you have a feeling to do something, you should just go ahead and do it because it's something inside of you that's telling you to do it. Well, last Friday, I was sitting in my house like I normally do and whatnot, and sometimes I sit out here on the back porch, and it was just real muggy and shit, so I didn't really want to sit out on the back porch, but something kept telling me you need to come out on the back porch. Well, I wouldn't do it, and because it's pretty muggy. I mean, if you look at me right now, I'm sweating pretty decent, and I just got out of the shower. It's a pretty bad idea to come out here. So all of a sudden, I heard a loud commotion out here, and it was my chickens, and I came running out, and there was a coyote in my yard. I've lived in this house for 7 years. My chickens have been in the yard now for 3.5 years, I think. Never have we had a coyote come in the yard. I've never seen, we don't even have raccoons around here, okay? It's kind of odd, but whatever. So we had Blackie in his mouth, and I tried to run out, and I forgot my baseball bat, and I wanted to come back because I didn't think, you know, hey, there's shovels right there. You can chuck a shovel at that son of a bitch. So, and I'm screaming at it. He dropped Blackie, and he jumped over the fence, and he started going down that way. So I was running out the front door. I about killed myself. And I forgot to grab the keys. So I came back, grabbed the keys. So I just wasn't thinking straight. You know, you just took my fucking chicken, dude. So I got in the car, and I'm following him down the road. Now, mind you, he's slowing down and looking. I don't think this is normal reaction from a coyote. But he's slowing down. He's looking at me like, are you going to come any faster? Like, it's down this way. So I get to the end of the street, and I'm like, you got to be fucking, you just got to be kidding me, dude. So he goes behind this long wall, like, you're going to follow me? And I'm sitting at the stop sign. I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening, dude. What am I going to do, you know? And I'm swearing, and I'm cussing a whole bunch, and this little son of a bitch, he comes back, and he looks at me again. Goes away, comes back, looks at me again like I'm supposed to be following him. And I'm like, look, bro, I ain't following you because if I get out of this car right now, I'm going to grab this baseball bat and I'm going to beat you. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, this son of a bitch. And I said, I can't believe this. And I told him, look at me, you son of a bitch. Don't you come back down to my house or I'll fucking kill you, but you're just too cute right now. Or I said something like that. It absolutely was an adorable coyote all of a sudden. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I come back here and tell Jimmy, well, looks like I'll never be able to live on a farm because I can't kill nothing. Nothing. He stole my chicken and I can't kill him, right? Well, at that time, I didn't know that he had actually gotten the chicken. So I come back and I'm counting all the chickens. I had 9 of them, so I'm counting. And I'm like, all right, Red's missing. So I'm looking all over the place. And I'm looking for her, and I couldn't fucking find her, dude. So it kind of upset me a little bit, you know? And Red is the chicken that first showed up. You go back and watch the chicken video. I'm not going to give the whole story over again, but Red is the first chicken to show up. And she showed up, and she was in my dog Duke's mouth when, you know, she like popped out of nowhere, and then she was in the dog's mouth, and it just totally crazy situation. And now she leaves in a dog's mouth. And at first, because I think about everything, every possibility, every situation. And the way that she showed up, I'm thinking, well, God gave me this chicken, right? And now she's leaving the same way that she showed up. So, like, was I not taking care of her good enough? And God was like, I'm taking this chicken back. Or what, dude? There's no coyotes in this area. And we haven't seen them since. I don't hear the dogs barking in the neighborhood anymore at night or in the middle of the day because you would hear them so often. I figured someone was just walking by, but it had gotten to be more than normal. So now they're gone. But I we added to the fence to bring it up to 6 foot so they won't jump over that. But then I was thinking, I was sitting here thinking, and I'm like, man, what would happen if I would have been drinking, dude? I'll tell you exactly what would have happened. I would have grabbed my baseball bat, I would have got in the car, and I would have chased that coyote down in that field. I would have got out, and I probably would have beat it to death. But in the process, some old lady would have been out there with a video camera, videoing me, and nobody asking me why I'm killing this fucking thing, because it ate my chickens. And then I would have made national news, and I'd have been in jail for animal cruelty for something that ate my chickens. I called everywhere to see if someone, animal control or whatever, because usually they'll take a nuisance pet and they'll move it out of the area. Well, not in this county. They don't do that in this county. Whatever, dude. But I found out that I'm definitely probably never going to be able to live on a farm because I can't kill anything. I can kill a fish because it's just a fish. But when it comes to anything else, I'm not meant for it. I don't like seeing animals hurt. I don't like what these nature people that are so smart, because they're so smart that they have to know the migration of every single living parasite thing on this planet. Something I found out a few weeks ago was that they've been strapping stuff on sharks to know more about hurricanes. So you wonder why, like, animals are starting to attack more people. Some people are going to say, oh, well, it's only because more people have cameras now. Uh-oh. My phone's getting too hot, so I'm going to have to turn it off. It might be doing the roundy rounds right now. But if you're still there, have a wonderful night. Know that you're still loved. My phone's getting too hot. I'll talk to you later.